The Commonwealth ombudsman has launched an investigation into the high number of suicides and self-harm incidents in detention centres. The inquiry comes as hundreds of detainees who've been held on Christmas Island are being flown to mainland Australia for processing. They've been in limbo because they arrived after the Malaysia deal was announced but before the agreement was signed. The ABC's Jane Norman reports from Christmas Island.
For these asylum seekers, the weeks of uncertainty are finally over. The relief was obvious. Rather than heading to Malaysia, this group is flying to Darwin, where their claims for asylum will be processed. More than 500 asylum seekers are being transferred to the mainland this week. The group began arriving on Christmas Island in May, when the Prime Minister first announced the deal with Malaysia. They were initially told they'd be processed in a third country, but after the deal was signed, the government revealed their claims would be assessed in Australia. Federal police numbers were boosted in the wake of last week's riot, and they remain here in force as the government prepares to implement its Malaysia solution. While authorities are preparing for new arrivals on the island, the Commonwealth Ombudsman has announced an inquiry into the mental health of asylum seekers already in detention. The investigation has been prompted by increasing incidents of self-harm and attempted suicide in immigration detention.
Well, I was at Christmas Island myself in the last week of June, and there were 30 incidents reported that week, and I've since learned that in the first week of July up to 50 incidents from around all the detention centres, and it just tells me that there's something wrong and something needs to be fixed.
It comes as no surprise to locals here on the island. Many have been calling for an inquiry for some time.
You cannot pen people up for 20 months plus and expect them to survive with sanity, nor the people that are caring for them.
Ms Bernard hopes the inquiry scrutinises the level of training given to staff to deal with mental health problems at the centres. Jane Norman, ABC News, Christmas Island.